Man, it could have been me. So sad. So I'm on a Facebook page group thing about Maine, and I just came across this article about the opioid deaths in Maine. This is like from 2008, and they're local, the biggest rag in the state of Maine called the Portland Press Herald, which I used to deliver as a child on Peaks Island. And I'm just reading this article, and there's like 365 opioid deaths in like 2018, one for every day. And they're blaming Paula Page and they're blaming the Republicans, as the liberal media does. And I was like, ironically, there's more than double the number of deaths now, even though what's her name, stupid Janet Shills is governor and has allocated all this money to the opioid epidemic. So they're blaming Paula Page for all his vetoing, and yet here we are 4 years later and 6 years later, it's more than double than it was back then, and yet there's no paper article saying how bad it was now. But anyway, so they had the picture of all 365 people who died. And I'm just looking at it. I haven't lived in Maine since I was 14 years old. I'm 53 now, so we're talking 40 years. But I'm just looking. All of a sudden, my heart just sank. There's this girl I knew in 8th and ninth grade named Sarah, and just she was so pretty, so outgoing, so fun, and so nice, and it's smart too. I just can't. I was stunned because I was like, I mean, I thought she would be freaking, she'd be crushing. It killed me, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I guess she got pregnant when she's 17 and fell into heroin addict, at 17 years old, and just I don't know, became a zombie. I guess I don't know. Died at 46 with a child. And it breaks my heart, man. And then probably my best friend growing up, he died at 50, and I don't know if it's from smack overdose or whatever, but he died suddenly, and he had issues. I know that for a fact because he reached out to me on Facebook. We had talked for 40 years, and he had gone through the grinder, and I don't know if anyway. The interesting thing is both these people left Maine, and then they both came back where they met their demise. Now, I'm not sad for them. No. I'm happy for them because they're in a much better place. Being as a zombie on this earth is hell. So they're with the good Lord now. So they're in a much better place. I'm so sad for their people they left behind. Like, my friend was married for 25 years, two girls. You know what I'm saying? The girl, Sarah, was, I don't know if she's still married, but she had a child. I guess she got pregged at 17 and just was introduced to heroin then, and man, it kills me. I'm just sitting there thinking, I was so close to being me. Because, like, when I was in 8th grade, man, I was drinking, smoking, I was, going to ninth grade. And, and then when I was, so I got away from that when my dad moved to Washington, D.C., and ultimately Maryland, when I moved in with him in Maryland. But I got right back into it down there, and not in 10th grade, but in 11th grade. And man, I just cannot believe how close that was. And then the Army. I mean, it's just all there is to it, the Army. It's amazing. How many people that say the Army saved my life? I mean, if I would have stayed in Maine, because I got an addictive personality as it is, I love drinking a beer. There's a song by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I think it's called Drunks and Children or something like that. And the guy just says, when I'm drinking, I'm happy when I'm drinking. I said, man, I know that song well. What does it say? When I'm drinking, I lose my mind. I lose my mind. But I'm happy when I'm drinking. Something, I can't remember the lyrics. It's on their second album. Yeah, and man, how many people do you know that for the love of God, man, of the good Lord, I did not go down that path. And it's so sad because, like, I got 4 kids who are crushing. My wife, I was at Badu 610 Boating, and I'm saying crushing. 610 Boating says, stop using the word crushing. I'm going to say it all the time, crushing. But, man, I just think, God's got plans, dude. And I don't know what they are, and I don't know why, good people meet their demise early. Bad people live longer than they should. That's all part of God's plan. I don't know why. But I see that picture of that, and I said, what? I said, I know that girl. And it was her. I said, man, she was so nice to me. When I started 8th grade, I changed schools. So I changed schools 8th grade, ninth grade twice, and 10th grade. So in like 3 years, I went to 4 different schools. And when I went into 8th grade at King Middle School in Portland, Maine, I knew some people because from Peaks Island, but I didn't know that many. And she was just real nice to me, and she was like so pretty, so fun, and it was like part of the cool kids, and I'm just, poor scrub, and I can't. I mean, it's so smart, and I just cannot believe that dope and smack. I just think what the trauma she must have went through, trying to get her next fix. Not just her, but all these guys. But for some reason that just hit me because I wasn't. I mean, I was like, what reading this also. I was like, what? I got her? You know what I'm saying? Damn, it just kills me, man. It kills me. It's just like, how does it just, like, what is the impetus to say, let me try this heroin? I get cocaine because cocaine makes you fired up, makes you want to freaking bust through walls. But heroin's the exact opposite. Heroin's just like, hey man, I don't get like I don't need cocaine because I'm already fired up. I'm already hyper. There's a guy who sings for the band Blood for Blood. He talks about when he was he thought he was buying some smack from this midget in Barcelona. It turns out he's buying Colombia cocaine, and so he took what he thought was heroin. He sniffed it, thinking it's heroin, which is gonna like just totally just make you go, ugh. And it's cocaine. He said, "Holy crap!" And he started going nuts. His heart was beating. He's like ripping off his clothes. He's like, "Dude, I thought I was gonna die then," because he was expecting this and he got that instead. And he said, The last thing I'm already fired up enough. I'm already hyper enough. I don't need cocaine." And it's like he's lucky he survived that. He said, "It's crazy." And it's not good. You don't want to do cocaine either. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, cocaine got went by supposedly. Anyway, could have. I think like my dad moved to Maryland, and I moved down there with him and just got started up again. But man, do you got any stories like that in terms of your history of like how somehow you escape from the drudgery of being a zombie? Some people don't. I bet most people who don't. I bet come from. Well, I don't actually. I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say it. I bet if most people who don't probably come from families that have both a mom and a dad. I'm sure. Trust me. There are addicts who come from both. I get it. But I just wonder if you did a study, if the most people who are who comes from addicts, from smoking smack or shooting up smack and snort coke and all that stuff. I wonder if the most come from single parent families, more so than the population size would warrant. I bet that's probably true. Anyway, pray, man, pray for all those who are addicted. These aren't zombies. These are real people. These are people's brothers and sisters and daughters and sons and moms and dads, and they're not bad. They're not bad. They're just they've gotten sucked in by the zombie and by the devil to become a zombie, and I don't know how you escape that. I don't know. I know it's. Man, I've lost so many friends of mine to that crap, man. Just it kills me. I met this one guy, my roommate's brother, just smoking hot wife. He's a great drummer, funny as hell. This guy, he just was addicted to. He just was addicted, and he died of an overdose. And I just. One of my good friends who I was in the army with. Oh my God, the list goes on and on. I hate it. And if you're dealing with that with one of your sons or daughters or family members, man, I feel for you, man. I pray to the good Lord I don't have to deal with that. Anyway, I don't know what you do. I don't have any answers. I'm kind of, I won't say anymore. I was going to say I'm kind of dealing with it now, but I don't want to go down that road here. Anyway, God bless, man. Say prayers for those who are wandering, because it's bad. It's only getting worse, too. All right, we'll see you.